Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. And today we're doing Americana DIYs. For DIY number 1, these US maps. They are the color your own decor from the Dollar Tree and they're made out of wood. And I'm going to go in with some satin Mod Podge and saturate this whole front. And now I'm placing one of these bandanas from the Dollar Tree. And it's a real thin bandana, and you can choose whatever bandana you like, or you can even do a scarf. And so now I'm going to saturate the top of that. And once it's completely dry, you can still see the outline of the states, which is pretty cool. And now I'm going to take my little finger utility knife, and I'm going to very carefully cut away the excess fabric from the wood piece. And so if you place enough Mod Podge on it, it'll be a very clean cut. But right here I'm going to show you what happens if you cut it and then there's not enough Mod Podge. Look at this. If there's not enough Mod Podge on your fabric, it cuts it very messy, very frayed, very messy. But if you have Mod Podge, it's very clean cut. And look how nice it looks like this. Cute. So now I'm taking one of these little easels from Dollar General, and I don't remember if it was $1 or $1.50, but either way it was a really good deal. And I'm just going to paint it with some apple barrel paint in the color white. And I'm taking some of these little magnets from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take 2, and I'm going to hot glue a magnet to the middle portion, the top middle portion of the easel. And I'm going to figure out where I need to place it on my wood piece, my map. And so I just put a dab in that spot, and now I can use this easel for other decor other than just this. And here it is, all done. For DIY number 2, these long signs, they're wall signs from the Dollar Tree, and they're perfectly distressed. Look how cute they are. And I'm also taking these star ornaments. They are so adorable, and they have the beaded garland attached to them. Perfect. And this is so simple. All I'm going to do is take red, white, and blue stars, and I'm going to take the first one, place it in the back, and adhere it with a nice glob of glue. Place it down and anchor it on there till it's nice and secure. And once it's nice and secure, I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to secure the top part of it so it doesn't go flying around. Place that down as well. Then I'm going to turn over the star, and I'm going to place the top of the next star that's got the beaded garland, and I'm going to place it underneath or the back of the next star. Now here I'm using hot glue for video purposes only. I ran out of the E6000, so if you're going to do this, please use the E6000, because using hot glue with metal is not going to last long. Not at all. So for video purposes, I'm using this at this moment, but again, use E6000 for a more permanent hold. And once I place that on there, then I'll just remove the excess jute twine and then add more glue. And I'm just going to do this till all 3 stars are just hanging down. And I was so happy that they fit perfectly on this board. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now for the top, I'm going to add a nice big fluffy bow that I created with that same ribbon. And I'm just going to add a nice dab of glue and place it on the top of the sign and fluff up the bow. And that is it. And here is how it looks. For DIY number 3, I found this adorable silicone popsicle mold at TJ Maxx, and I'm also going to use some of this resin I like to use. I get this from Amazon. The Dollar Tree does carry the smaller versions if you're lucky enough to find them. These work exactly the same way, and unfortunately this part of my DIY footage got erased, I don't know how that happened, so I'm just going to show you how I did it. I poured the equal amounts of resin and hardener in my cup, and then some of this red paint, acrylic paint, and then I just stirred it all up really well. This is the excess from that part of my DIY. Then I poured all the contents evenly into all of these popsicle openings, and then I placed my craft sticks inside, and I used a craft clamp to hold it in place. I allowed this layer to set, and here we are. The next step is coming up. Now they're all set, all the red, as you can see. So now we can continue. So I'm going to take another one of these containers and putting my gloves back on and adding some more of the resin. This is the part A, and then some of the part B, which is right here. Pour it inside. Doing again equal amounts, and I always check by looking at the bottles. Now I'm going to take some white acrylic paint by Apple Barrel, and then I just mixed it really well. And then this is the second layer of my bomb pops. So here I'm just going to go slow, try not to make a big mess. So just like that, fill them all up. Now here's the last of it, and I'm going to use a craft stick to try to get as much out as possible, but taking my time as well. So here, just trying to get it all out. Now here I'm just gonna clean my areas. I think I did make a little bit of a mess. Now the last one didn't have enough, but it'll be what it'll be. So now I'm gonna allow this to set overnight. Just gonna clean my little areas. Now here it is, nice and set. Now I'm gonna take another container and do the same thing, and then pour equal amounts. This is my last time. I'm going to pour equal amounts of resin. I think this is another set of bottles, so just pour this much. I'm just kind of guesstimating. So the last one, it'll either come out or it won't. It'll be how it'll be. I'm not gonna stress over it. Add my acrylic paint like this, and here is my part B. And again, I'm going to check my bottles to see if it's the same. It is. We're good to go. Showing you. Yep, good to go. And just mix really, really well. And now add this layer into my popsicle molds. So just like this, just trying to be careful and not make too much of a mess. It'll be just to the very top of the mold, of the openings. So just like this. And here are my last ones. Try to get as much out as I can so I'm good. And then wipe off any excess that's anywhere. Just trying to keep my area nice and clean. And now I'll allow this to set overnight. That way everything sets well. So now here it is the next day. Everything looks great. And I'm just going to wiggle them out, pull them out, and look how adorable. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. They look so real. So good. Now here's my little runt. Wasn't too bad. Okay, look at this one, super cute, and this one, and then my last two. And I just think they are so cute. I love this layering to make these little bomb pops. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some embellishing with some of this ribbon that my sweet friend Norma gave me. She gave me a ton of stuff. I posted a reel on Instagram if you want to check it out. Oh my goodness, she is so generous. So now I'm just going to take this ribbon or these ribbons and create some little bows in the white and in the red. If I had some blue, that would have been great too, but I didn't have any blue. And just make these little bows with like long tails, and I'll just adhere them with some hot glue, and then that is it. Here's how they look. For DIY number 4, one of these Dollar Tree framed decor pieces, and I'm going to open it up. And these decor pieces, the frames are made out of this plastic that is really difficult to paint, but I'm going to go in with some of the Mod Podge, the satin Mod Podge, and I'm going to paint it with this, or should I say coat it with some of this Mod Podge, just to give it a little bit of a texture so my paint will hold on. And now I'll go in with some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant, paint it real quick, and look what a difference. So that's the trick, Mod Podge and then chalk paint. So now on the backing, I'm removing these foam flowers, and I'm removing as much of this paper as I can, but I don't have to remove all of it. I'm just going to go in with some chalk paint, and I'm going to use some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, paint it up. And so now I'm taking some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster, and with my chunky chippy brush, I'm going to go in and distress my frame all the way around, and also on the backing that I just painted with this pretty ocean blue chalk paint. And when I add this plaster paint, it almost looks like an ocean for real. It kind of looks like the ocean, doesn't it? The waves, the ripples. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually going for the sky, like a nighttime sky, but I don't know, it's looking like an ocean to me. But we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. My ocean sky. So here's a Cricut Design Space cut file that I customized for my family. And so it says Sparkler Squad. And so it has 2 large sparklers, and on the bottom it has 5 little sparklers. The 2 large sparklers are to represent my husband and I, and the 5 little sparklers on the bottom are to represent our grandchildren. And I just thought it was a cute little decor piece for the 4th of July. And you have to look at it in the light, because maybe I should have used the white vinyl, but anyway, I used the black. But look how cute! Super cute. So now all I have to do is add the little frame back onto the backing, and that is it. For DIY number 5, I'm taking this cute little, it's like a shadow box frame from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove all the embellishments, and I'm going to heat up the glue that glues the backing onto the frame. And look at me, I'm multitasking. So as I heat up the glue, just to get it a little bit weak, I'm going to go in with my metal scraper, and I'm going to pry it in there and pry this backing open, and it'll tear up some of the paper on it, but that's okay. We're not going to use the paper that's on there. So now gotta remove all this excess paper, and I use my little finger sander to remove the rest of it, get all that excess paper off. We want it nice and clean. Anyway, so here I painted it white with some white apple barrel paint, and I'm going to go in with some of this satin Mod Podge, and I'm just going to brush it on completely to cover up the whole piece. And now I'm taking one of these bandanas from the Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack. I decided to take this print that looks very much like a flag, and I'm going to place that on there and smooth it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, because flags are not perfect as far as being smooth. Some, you know, they're in the wind and they ripple and all that. So here I'm removing the excess of this bandana, which I really like the print. I really like the little stars on it. They're different patterns, and some are solid and some are hollow. And now I'm going to go in with some more of the Mod Podge, let it dry. It becomes real stiff. And so now with my finger utility knife, I'm going to trim off the edges, and I'll do this to 3 sides till it comes off. And then the last side, I just go ahead and cut it off with my scissors, because it has a little like sewn edge on it. So I just go ahead and use my scissors for this part. And so now it looks like this. And like I said, it's nice and stiff. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to come off. And now I'm going to place this back on my frame. And I'm just going to add a few dabs of glue to add it. Or should I say beads of glue? I add a few beads of glue to add this frame. And just like that, flip it over. And now I have a backdrop for something special. And now I'm taking some of these little army men from the Dollar Tree. And I choose the green ones because, I don't know, I just kind of like the green ones. I was thinking of painting them all in a pewter gray color, but then I decided to stick with the green. So now I'm just going to hot glue them on. But if you do this, you can totally paint them. And now with my Cricut, I cut out this vinyl that says thank you for your service. And then that is it. Super cute. For DIY number 6, I'm taking 3 of these little houses from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove all of the jute twine that's on them. And I'm also going to take my metal scraper and remove any excess glue off of them. And also my little finger sander to remove any residue. So once I have them ready, I'm going to go in with some paint, some red, white, and blue. And just like that, they're all painted, and I painted the circles white. So now I'm taking some of these little stickers. I wanted to use the larger ones, but I didn't have a large S. So I'm going to have to go with the mid-size ones. And I'm just going to simply add U, and then S, and then A onto these cute little houses. And I want to keep them simple. I want to keep them very plain and simple, because when I embellish them, that'll be just enough for these little houses. So now I'm going to add the jute twine back on the way it was on there before. I really like that look, and I think with these colors it just goes really well with it. So I'm just going to add a dab of glue, and I'm going to start with the middle and add up the jute twine on there, hold it with my silicone spatula, and just start wrapping. And it should fit perfectly because it came off of it. So now I'm going to add another dab of glue to secure it in place. And I'll do this to all 3 of the little houses, like this. And now I'm going to add the little bows. And pretty much I'm done. That's it. For DIY number 7, taking one of these brand new burlap framed stretch canvases, and I'm going to use my Cricut again. And here is another piece of Dollar Tree vinyl that I cut to create a stencil kind of form, and it's supposed to be a flag in a flower shape. And I'm just going to go in with this red, and I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. I'm not going to be careful. I don't mind that it's going to run everywhere, because this is going to be a little bit abstract, and you'll see what I mean as we get towards the end of it. So I'm just painting it whichever way, just making sure to get all those bare spots filled like this. And now I'm going to remove the vinyl, and I'm going to use my heat gun to dry it all up, because now I'm going to place the other section, and it's this other part of the flower. And again, this is Dollar Tree vinyl, so it's not going to be the best quality, but it does the job just fine for this. Look how adorable. So I'm going to take some blue, And I'm going to fill this in the same way until it's all filled like this. And I'm going to remove the vinyl and dry it all up. Now once it's dry, I'm going to take some more of the vinyl lettering and I'm just going to put on here America, place it on the very top, and again, since this is vinyl on burlap, I have to take my time to remove the transfer tape, but once I get it off, it looks beautiful. So here I'm just taking my time until I get it to look perfect. Now for the bottom, I'm going to take another piece, and this one's going to say the, and once I placed the on there, I decided it was a little bit too high, and thankfully it was just 3 large letters, so I was able to bring them down just a little bit to where I wanted them, like this. Press them down, and now beautiful, as in a bee, and you'll see where the bee comes in. It's going to be so cute. So now here is beautiful. Place this down, and again, I have to be careful and take my time because this font is a thin font, so this one's especially finicky. But with patience and determination, anything's possible. So yeah, and I did speed this up quite a bit because let me tell you, it took a little while. But just kind of pressing it down, and then of course I add the Mod Podge to seal it all up. That way I make sure nothing comes off. Look how cute. Okay, so now here I'm covering up all my vinyl lettering because I don't want any of my vinyl coming up when I add my last piece of vinyl on here. So I'm just using some parchment paper and some painter's tape, and I'm covering all my lettering just in case, because believe me, this stuff is hard to keep on there before I add my Mod Podge, because I'm not ready for my Mod Podge yet. I'll do that in a minute when I get everything done. So here I'm just covering it all up just in case. And now here is my large flower with the bee, and I'm going to remove the backing here. And by the way, this black vinyl is my favorite. Here it is. So okay, now I'm ready to add this onto my abstract flower flag, flower flag, I don't know. So here I'm just trying to figure out the position I want it. Press it down, and again I'm going to remove this transfer tape, and I just take my time, and I didn't show it all because oh my goodness, it took me forever to get this off, and then come to find out I didn't really need to tape everything up, but I did it just in case. But here it is. Look how cute. And here I'm just adding my Mod Podge, and here's how it looks. For DIY number 8, I'm going to use this shooting star. This one I got from the Dollar Tree some time ago. And I'm going to go in with these 3 paint colors by Apple Barrel, paint them up like this. Now I'm going to take some white, Snow White chalk paint from Waverly and my Chucky Chippy brush. And I'm going to do a dry brush on the whole piece to make it look like the actual shooting star. Like it's gaining some white on it, like like a comet maybe, but no, it's a star. Just giving it some marks like it's shooting, you know. Get me? Yeah, just like that. I just think it definitely gives it some interest. And that is all for this one. Perfect for a tier tray. Here's how it looks. For DIY number 9, these cement garden pieces from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the jute twine that's on it because it's a pretty weak one. It's not very strong. I want to put something stronger on it. And I'm going to go in with some of the spackle from the Dollar Tree. This is pretty good. And my little silicone spatula to apply it and cover up all the wording on it. And so now the colors pop a little bit better. And I'm going to go in with the white Apple Barrel paint, and now it's really going to pop better. And now I'm going to go in with some of the stencils from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to add a few numbers on this piece and just stencil it. And I'm going to use the bright blue from Apple Barrel to do the stenciling. And just like that, look how cute. It becomes an address piece for your home. You can turn these into an address piece. It almost looks like it says boy, but no, it's a number. But look how cute. You can totally put any address on here, any home address, home number. And now I'm going to go in with some of this wire jute twine. And this is going to take place of the jute twine that was on there. This is a little stronger. This will last longer. And I'm just going to thread it through and secure it by twisting it. And do the same to both sides. And just like that. Look how cute. And now I just want to give it a little bit of a distressing. So I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly Antique Wax and just real lightly with my chippy brush, just to stress it a little bit, to give it a little bit of aged look, because now it's looking a little bit too bright white. But yeah, just a little bit. It gives it like a little effect. And you're just going to go over the whole piece. I even do some of the flowers too, just a little tiny bit. And look how cute. It's so cute. For DIY number 10, Dollar Tree mini palettes. So adorable. This is a perfect little tier tray project. And I'm going in with those same red, white, and blue colors. And I'm going to paint them up in this manner. And then I'm going to take these tiny little star stickers that I had on hand. I'm sure you can find these anywhere. Or you can cut them out on a Cricut if you have a Cricut. But I'm sure all the stores have these little stickers as well for school and whatever. I just placed 3 on there because that's all I could fit. If I had smaller ones, I'd probably fit better. And then some Mod Podge, and here's how it looks. For DIY number 11, I'm going to go into my little star stash. I got these from Amazon, and I'm going to take 3 of my larger stars, and then 3 of my smaller or mid-sized stars, and then 3 of my smaller stars, because I'm going to layer these together. So I'm going to take these 9 stars, and I'm going to go in with this white, this blue, and this red from Apple Barrel. Paint them up like that. You can use any shade that you like. These are just the shades that I chose. Now I'm just going to layer them together. That way I can see how they look. These will be embellishments for my next DIY. I always like to start with my embellishments. And now I'm just going to take some hot glue and adhere them all together and set them aside for later. In the meantime, I'm taking this plaque from the Dollar Tree. This is another one of the items that Diane, my sweet friend Diane, gave me. And I'm going to remove this middle embellishment that's on here. It's kind of raised, but it wouldn't come off. So I'm going to warm it up with some heat on my heat gun, and then using one of my Cricut spatulas to remove it. And it came up pretty easily with the paper. And then here I'm just going to go ahead and peel off whatever paper I can. I'm not going to be too fussy about all the paper. I actually leave a lot of it on. And I'm just going to take my finger sander, and I'm just going to sand off all of this glitter that's on the pumpkin piece here, on the pumpkin section. Now I'm going to go in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White, give it a good coat in the center, and set it aside for later. In the meantime, I'm going to take 3 of these little frames from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of 4, but I only use 3. And again, I'm going to go in with these 3 red, white, and blue shades of color from Apple Barrel. And here is some more of this ribbon. Actually, I think I made this DIY first. I did. And that's when I opened my ribbon. So here I'm going to take a piece and try to see if it'll fit pretty perfectly. It's pretty perfectly, a little tiny little millimeter shy. but it'll do. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip off what I need that will fit these little frames. And I'm just going to take some hot glue and very, very carefully add it to my ribbon all the way on. Actually, I do one side first. I did 3 sides first. 3 sides first because I didn't want the glue to cool on me. Then place my little frame, and then I flip it over and then pull up the bottom part and add the glue on the ribbon, just little tiny bits, and then press it down gently. And I do the same thing to all 3. Now I'm going to take my scissors and just snip off any excess that might be showing on the front. Now here on this one here, I think my glue did set too quick, so I'm just going to warm it up with my heat gun, and once it warms up the glue, then I can just press it back down in place, and that works perfectly. So now here is where I go ahead and trim off any excess of this ribbon like this, just real easily. Just snip, 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 and take it off like that. Just make sure you have good detail scissors, good sharp scissors. And now I'm going to take some letters from Dollar Tree, and I did USA in the red, white, and blue. Place these in the center of my little frames, and using hot glue, I'm just going to adhere them to the ribbon portions of these frames like this. Just press them down. They fit pretty perfectly. I think the ratio is pretty good for the letter to the frames. So allow them to set for a minute. Now I'm going to take some of this ribbon. This one I got from Walmart. It looks like a flag. I really think it was pretty. I thought it was just adorable. So I went ahead and got this. Snip off the end. The only thing with this ribbon, it does fray super easily. So I definitely have to use a little flame to seal up the ends. But I'm just making some quick little finger bows for embellishments for my little frames. And I'm just going to cut these on an angle going outwards. And here I'm just going to join them together to make sure that they're nice and symmetrical and that they're the same, like this. And then here's my lighter to seal off the ends. This stuff does fray so easily. So here's one ribbon, but I went ahead and made all 3, but I'm not going to attach them just yet. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the Snow White Chalk Paint by Waverly and my chunky chibi brush, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of dry brushing on all of the red and the blue portions of this DIY. The white, it doesn't make sense to do it. I just left the white alone, but just the red, and then this blue frame, and then the red U, and then the blue A. I almost said white. The blue A right here. And just give it a little more interest. Super cute. Now I can add my bows to the tops because I think they are adorable. And I'm just going to place them with some hot glue. Now here is my plaque, and I'm going to place these in a manner where it says USA. I'm going to place the U on the bottom, the S on the top. The S on the top because some of the pumpkin patch was kind of showing a little bit, so I was kind of trying to conceal it with this frame here, and that worked perfectly. So I went ahead and did that one first, set it on there, and then I went ahead and placed the other 2 in place. Add some hot glue and press down on this MDF board, the sign. This came out so handy. This was perfect for this. Fits pretty nicely. And then my little stars that I made, my little embellishments, I will use those for the 2 tops and then the middle bottom. And I'm just going to place those on here and add them with some hot glue. And then that is all for this one. I think this one was super simple, super cute, and it's got a lot of textures and a lot of interest. Let me know what you guys think. This is how it looks. DIY number 12. I'm going to begin with some of these mini rolling pins. I got a whole bunch of them. I'm off of Amazon. These are actually woodpecker crafts. And I'm going to go in with the Maze and the Snow White by Waverly, paint them in this manner. And now I'm going to begin with some of these mini rolling pins. I got a whole bunch of them. I'm off of Amazon. These are actually woodpecker crafts. And I'm going to go in with the Maze and the Snow White by Waverly, paint them in this manner. And now I'm going to take some napkin pieces, the red, white, and blue ones that I've been using, and then some of the lemon ones from previous DIYs, and taking some Mod Podge. I'm going to give it a nice thin coat on each one of these little rolling pins. And yes, I made a mess, I know. The bottle was pretty new, so I thought it was like, I don't know, I'm just used to squeezing it harder, I guess. So here is my little lemon napkin. Here, I gotta clean this up, it's driving me crazy. Here's my little lemon napkin, and while my Mod Podge is still wet, I'm going to snip off a piece for this little rolling pin, and I'm just going to place it on the napkin and just roll it real gently and pressing it down. I made my piece a little bit too big, but that's okay. I'll just tear it off gently, and it works pretty nice, pretty well. Snip off the excess with some scissors, press everything down. Go ahead and add some more Mod Podge to seal it up right away. Since these are pretty small, I'm just going to use the wet method on these. And I'm going to use the little clips to hold it in place, and then just hang it over my little dishes, and that works perfectly. Now I'm going to go ahead and check these. This one was a little wrinkly, so I am taking a piece of Mod Podge and my mini easy press, and I'm just going to roll the rolling pin by pulling the parchment paper up, and that rolls it for me. Most of these are wrinkle free, but there were a couple that needed a little bit of attention. I think one of the lemon ones did too. Yeah, the one that I put on the table, and I'll show you guys again. Kind of put my parchment paper around it and pull parchment paper as I'm using the mini easy press, and then that flattens everything out nice and neat. Now I'm going to make some more embellishments, and this one I got this silicone mold from Amazon, and then some resin, and I'm going to make my own red, white, and blue ice cream pops and cones. First I got to add some gloves to my hands for sure, because this stuff is toxic. If it gets on your skin, it can burn you, so just be careful if you do this. And all you got to do is do equal parts of each of these resin. One is resin, one is activator, the hardener. And if you just do equal parts, you can't go wrong, and it'll turn out perfectly. So here is the hardener. Make sure it's equal amounts. I love using these little cups. Now go ahead and pour the one into the other, and using my little craft stick to do all my scraping and mixing. And then just mix everything really well, combine it and mix it up for a good, I don't know, a few seconds, just so it starts turning a little bit opaque. And then go ahead and pour these in the little cavities, the little molds, and there are little ice cream cones and popsicles. And when I got down to the bottom, I just barely had enough for the last two, so those two don't end up really turning out, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to do a little shimmy, that way it all goes into all the sections, and set it aside overnight. That way it'll cure. Here it is the next day. Everything is beautiful. They come out pretty easily. Look how pretty they are. Now normally when I do resin projects, I'll definitely utilize some color, some mica powders, or what have you. But for these, I decided to paint them afterwards, and I have a little trick up my sleeve, and they'll still be super cute and look like it's all resin. Okay, so here's the last two that didn't come out. Yeah, we'll just leave them. That's okay. Still got plenty of embellishments. Now I'm going to get ready to paint them, and I'm going to use this brown from Dollar Tree, and then this blue from Apple Barrel, a red from Apple Barrel, and of course a white. And I'm going to paint them up like this. Now put all my colors away. Look how cute they look, but now they're looking matte. and I want them to look like resin on the outside as well. So I'm going to place them on another piece of parchment paper to do my little trick, my little hack. And some of these are still a little bit wet with the paint, but that's okay. It wasn't too bad. You pull them off like this. Now here is my little hack. I'm going to use some of this nail polish, and it's the one that you set with the UV light. This is the stuff I use for my nails because I do my own nails. I don't know if you guys know that, but I always do my own nails. So here is the top coat. And not the regular one, not the one that dries with the air. No, you have to have a UV light to dry this stuff. And here's my little UV light pen. It's so handy and I love it. And I'm just going to add a nice glossy coat to make it look like it's resin on the outside as well. And I went ahead and did the same thing to the rest of them. So now you have that look like it had color inside of the molds, but you didn't, because these molds were a little too tiny. But look how cute, so pretty. I'm obsessed. So I'll put those aside. Now for DIY number 7, I'm going to use some more pieces from my sweet friend Diane. This tray, this crate, and this palette. And I'm going to go in with the red, white, and blue, and crimson, snow white, and nautical. And I'm going to create a little kitchen hutch for my mini rolling pins. And I did something similar like this for gingerbread at Christmas time. So here I'm going to take some of these tumbling tower blocks, and I'm just going to add some hot glue and place them on the back portion of this palette just to give it a little bit of height. This will be necessary. You'll see in a minute. And here's a picture of the gingerbread theme one that I made. And the rolling pins and hooks are actually larger than these. These are actually smaller. So this DIY will definitely be different. So here I'm going to add my little rolling pins. I'm going to try to place them where I think I want them. And I'm just going to take a Sharpie to make some little dots, because I'll need to drill some pilot holes to add these little hooks. So here's my Sharpie. I'm just going to go real quick. Make the little dots like this, and I'll just go ahead and do the 2 at first just to show you guys. And my little dots. Oh, I went ahead and did the other dots as well. I think I only drilled the top ones though at this moment. Okay, now here is my handy dandy drill the hubby gave me. It's pink. I love it. Got it from Amazon. And I'm going to add a piece of wood to protect my table, my cutting mat. And I'm just going to drill little pilot holes. This will help adding my screws on there, my little hooks. They have little screws on the end. They're removing all of the sawdust. And then look, just real easily they go in there, no problem. Just makes life so much easier. Went ahead and added all 4 of these. Now I'm going to test run them and see if they fit in there. My little rolling pins. Put one in first, and then kind of finagle the other piece. Had it twisted to one side like this, and then kind of just pop it in there. And look how cute! So sweet. Here, I went ahead and did the second one as well. Now that I figure out the trick, put one in first and then kind of just pop the other one. You have to put it at an angle. Now I went ahead and did the rest in the same manner and placed all my little rolling pins like this. Now I'm ready to add this palette to the inside of this tray, and I'm just using some hot glue and let it drop in there very gently like this. Press it down, make sure everything gets adhered. Now here is my base. This will be the base to my little hutch, and I'm going to use these pearlized thumbtacks. These are from the Dollar Tree by Jot. And since this is one of the smaller wooden crates that the Dollar Tree has, I'm only going to use 4 of these little thumbtacks, and I'm going to hold it with my needle nose pliers, and taking my rubber mallet, I'm just going to put them in place and tap, 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 and they go in pretty easily. And I do the same thing to all 4. Tap, 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 like this. And now I can adhere the top to the bottom, and I'm just going to use some hot glue for that. I'm going to figure out placement and then add the hot glue, 2 good beads of hot glue, placing my top on there and turning it around. Make sure it's nice and flush on the back and that the sides are even. Looking great. Love it. Now I'm going to take some of these jumbo straws. I bought a big old pack from Amazon, and it had the red and white for Christmas, then it had some blue and white, and it had some yellow and white, and some green and white, and purple and white. And later on I'll be using the green and white and yellow and white, and I decided to use the blue and white for this one. I didn't want to add red and white because it'll look Christmassy, even though there's red, white, and blue. I just decided to just do the blue for this one, and then eventually one day I'll use the purple and white. I don't know when, but one day. So here are the other 2 straws. I'm just going to turn this over and add a nice bit of glue to the sides on the back, and then placing these on. Now you don't have to do this. You can omit this if you don't like the look. I just kind of like the look because it just makes it look more uniform, because the top hutch is wider than the bottom piece. So I just felt like this made it look a little more uniform. So here are my pieces placed where I want them, and now I'm going to top off the very tops with some wooden beads. I had some red ones and some blue ones, and I'm just going to alternate on the top, a red and then a blue, and then a red and then a blue the opposite side, like this. Now I'm taking some more of this flag ribbon from Walmart, snipping off the end again because it's frayed from usage, and then cinching it closed and seal it. Now placing this on here like it's going to be like a table runner, sealing off this other end as well, and I'm just going to adhere it with a nice bead of hot glue and placing it on there quickly. That way I have time to massage all the glue in place and it won't be lumpy bumpy. But if it gets lumpy bumpy, just take your heat gun, soften the glue, and then massage it in place. There's always a plan B. There's always another choice. So here are the sides. Tack them down with some hot glue. And now I'm ready to do some embellishing. Here are some more of these little bows that I made with the same ribbon. And I'm just going to press these on the tops of these little poles, just the fronts, just for a little bit of something something. Gotta have a couple little bows here and there. And again, if you don't like bows, you can leave them off. And now I'm just going to add all my extra embellishments, and that is it. Here's how it looks. For DIY number 13, and here I'm taking these tiny little bees from Amazon, and I'm just going to take my paint markers and I'm going to give them a little makeover, make them look more patriotic with the blue and red paint marker. And yes, red, white, and blue bees are a thing. Yes, they are. Look how adorable. Just as simple as that. Paint marker for precision. Look how cute. And also I'm going to take these bamboo rings. I had a collection of quite a few sizes, some from Dollar Tree, some from Amazon, and I'm just going to stack them up together to create some small beehives. And I'm just going to adhere them with some wood glue. Begin with one of these house decor pieces from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square, and I'm going to go in with these 3 colors, the blue, white, and the red, and paint them in this form. And here I'm taking this scrap piece of wood that I had in my yard that's weathered perfectly, but the Dollar Tree does carry sizes of wood similar to this size, so you can always get something like this there. But since I already had this in my yard, why spend the money and buy a piece of wood? So now here I am taking a piece of burlap, and I'm going to trim off these ends and fray all the ends. I like that effect. I think it's super cute. And once I get that the way I want it, then I'll go ahead and take my Fabri-Tac fabric glue, and I'm going to adhere this piece onto my piece of wood. And it's as simple as that. I love this adhesive. It's becoming one of my favorites. And I'm going to press it down with my silicone spatula because I don't want the glue coming through the fibers and getting all over my hands. So now I'm going to figure out where I want the home pieces of wood, and I think it was looking cute like this, but I wanted to do something a little extra. So I am taking some of this Dollar Tree Patriotic ribbon, this wide ribbon, and it doesn't have any wires, so it's easy to cut. So I'm just going to try to figure out where I want it to be a background for these letters, because the letters are hollow on the inside. So I'm going to snip off just enough to cover the back, and then I'll adhere them with some of the Fabri-Tac fabric glue like this. And I do this to all 4 of the letters, and now I'm pretty happy with it. I think that this is looking super cute. And now all I have to do is place them down and make sure that they're nice and centered. And I go ahead and take the same Fabri-Tac adhesive, and I just adhere these onto my base like this. Now I take another piece of wood from my yard, and I'm taking another piece of burlap, and I'm doing the same thing, fraying the ends. And I do save the ends that I cut off. You'll see that in a little bit. So I'm just fraying these ends to my liking. This particular ribbon is a little thinner than the first one. Now I'm going to take some more of the Fabri-Tac glue and do the same thing. Add it to the whole back side of it. That way it'll adhere well. And flip it over and press it down. Now for this one here, I used my Cricut, and I created a cut file that says of the free, because of the brave, but because is going to be a little cheeky, a little fun, because it'll be because, like a bee. Because yeah, we're going to use some patriotic bees in this DIY video, because why not? And of course you can always use stickers if you don't have a Cricut. It's not difficult to achieve this look. So here I'm just pressing down my words on here, and I'm just going to very carefully remove the transfer tape. Now these vinyl pieces, they're a little bit difficult to remove from the transfer tape onto the burlap, because the burlap has so many little tiny fibers. So I'm just taking my time removing the transfer tape, and once I get it off, then I'm home free. All I gotta do now is just put a little of the Mod Podge, and this one I got from the Dollar Tree. They carry these small bottles now, and I'm just going to spread it real gently with my Freeman makeup brush that I love to use for Mod Podging, or should I say decoupaging with Mod Podge. And just like that, this will stay. Now I'm taking a longer piece of wood from my yard again, and I'm going to take some of this super glue wood glue, add a nice long bead of glue, place it on the top of this piece of wood that's slightly larger than the first one or the second one, and that'll be my stand. And now I'm going to take my home sign that I created, add another long bead of glue, and I'm going to place this one on top of the second piece of wood. So now it'll read, Home of the Free because of the Brave. Super cute. So now we have to add some bees. These little bees I got from Amazon, and I painted them with some paint markers. And then here is my little beehive that I made with those bamboo rings. And I'm just going to use some of the Waverly antique wax to give it a little bit of interest, a little bit of distress. And I'm going to take a little bit of water in my spray bottle, and I'm going to rub that in with a baby wipe just to get into all the nooks and crannies. Now it's ready to be adhered, and I'm taking some of the hot glue and I'm placing it on the right side. It's hard to see, but yes, it's right there on the right side. And I'm going to add a bee over here on the right as well, and I add another bee to the left. I don't show it, but I do add some hot glue for honey, and then a couple of my tiny little bees that I created in my embellishments. Now here is a piece of that burlap that I trimmed off on the edge, and I'm going to use that to create a little bow and place this on the top in the center of this whole cute sign, and this thing became huge. Let me tell you, you can hardly see the whole thing in my camera. And here's how it looked. For DIY number 14, I'm going to take this wood round from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove this hanger. We'll use it later, but in a different way. And now I'm going to go in with my Waverly chalk pen in the color Snow White to give it a full coat. And then I'm going to take some Dollar Tree vinyl. Yes, this is Dollar Tree vinyl. And with my Cricut, I cut out this pattern because I am horrible at making stripes. Yes, I admit it. I'm not even going to try it because they'll just look so wonky. And I accept my weaknesses and I seek help with machinery if I need to. I've got no problem with that. Now the problem with this Dollar Tree vinyl is that it doesn't want to stick very well. So here I am taking my time removing the vinyl, or should I say removing the transfer tape from the vinyl. But other than that, once I got it removed, it stuck pretty well. And the trick and the tip to using a Cricut and this vinyl is to scroll down on your material list on your Cricut, go all the way to the very bottom, and you'll see a setting that says just vinyl. And that's the one you need for Dollar Tree vinyl, just plain vinyl. So now here I am taking a blue piece. Again, this is Dollar Tree vinyl as well. See how shiny it is? But we'll take care of that with some Mod Podge later and kind of dull that up a little bit. Kind of settle that shine a little bit. So now I'm going to take more of those little stickers and I'm just going to place these all over the blue section. It won't be 50, but it'll be quite a few. And place that aside. Now here with my Cricut, I also cut out this word that says beekeeper. Now here I am making a big mistake. I am using a huge piece of transfer tape. And let me tell you what happens, and you'll see it. I'll place this down on here, and as I'm removing the transfer tape, guess what? The Dollar Tree vinyl starts coming up just a little bit, but it starts coming up enough that it's a little bit annoying. So I need to just, in the future, when I use Dollar Tree vinyl, just be careful with that part. I learned my lesson here, but still it's super cute. Look at that, beekeeper. Yes. So now I'm going to take some Waverly antique wax and I'm going to antique this whole piece, kind of dirty it up a little bit. It's looking a little too clean, too new, and we want to just dull it up just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. And if you don't like to distress anything, you can always skip this part, but I thought this was cute to just give it a little bit of dimension. And once I let this dry completely, then I go ahead and use a Mod Podge, give it a full coat, and this helps to dull up all that shine. And now I'm noticing that my whole piece is off-centered from the circle, from the wood round. So I'm going to remedy that with some rope. And look at that, nice and centered now. That's the trick. And now I'm going to remove all the fuzzies with my lighter because you guys know, I can't be encouraged, guys. It's my thing. Love to use the lighter and jute twine and rope until I get it all nice and pretty. And now I'm just going to add a nice big bow. This is just regular burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Place that in the center, and I'm going to add one of my cute little patriotic bees that I painted with my paint markers. Just place that in the very center, and look how adorable. And this is how it looks. For DIY number 15, I'm going to begin with one of these metal planters from the Dollar Tree that my sweet friend Diane gifted me. She gifted me so many craft supplies, and I'll be using quite a few of them in this video. So I went ahead and gave it a coat of the chocolate in the color Snow White by Waverly, and also a coat of the Mod Podge in the matte. Allow everything to dry fully. Now I'm taking some of this ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's really pretty, like a check. And I'm just going to try to put this around this planter. This planter has a really odd shape to place some ribbon, so I'm just trying to be a little bit creative how I'm going to do this, because I want the front to be nice and taut, and I felt like the only way to do that is to kind of fold it in the back in this manner. So I'm just going to go ahead and just adhere it like this. You won't see it anyway because it'll be in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of the Fix-All, because this will be on metal, and you know hot glue doesn't really like metal much. So I'm using some of this Fix-All for a good adherence, and I'm using my little craft clamps to keep it in place while it sets. Now here I realize it's not quite as taut as I would like, so I'm just going to pull it a little bit more and now replace my craft clamps, and then I'll just remove them when everything is nice and adhered. Now I'm taking another big piece of this same ribbon. I think this red, white, and blue is beautiful. I have never seen this. I think it's new this year. I'm pretty sure. I never saw it last year. If it's not new, I didn't get it last year. It must have been sold out or something. So I'm just going to make a bow, and here I'm going to make it on this table, and that just makes it a little bit easier to place it on the table and kind of finagle the loops and finagle the tails. Here, once I figured out how big of a bow I want, then I went ahead and then snipped off the ribbon. That way I don't waste any ribbon. Now here I'm just still finagling all the loops until I make my knot really small, and holding my knot in place, I'm just going to pull the tails to make my loops exactly how big I want them. Now I'm just going to fold the ends, the tails, and then just do a dovetail on each. Now one thing about this ribbon, I did notice that it frays pretty easily, so I'm definitely taking a flame to kind of seal it in place, lock it up like this. Now I'm ready to add this with some hot glue and place it on my ribbon like this. Just hold it a minute, allow that to set. It won't take long. Fluff up my loops. Now I'm taking this piece of pool noodle that I had in my stash, fits in here perfectly, and I'm just going to add some hot glue to place it down and hold it down until it sets. Now I'm taking these florals, and I did this off screen because it always takes me a while, but look how cute, and we'll see that again in a minute. Now I'm going to take some of these bamboo skewers. I started off with 3, but later on you'll see that I ended up getting 3 more, but for now I'm using 3. And I'm also going to use some of these arrows that my sweet friend Diane gave me. Like I mentioned earlier, she gave me a ton of crafting supplies, so I'm going to use a bunch of them in this video. So here I'm just going to remove all these pieces of jute twine and these staples and everything, getting ready. And I'm going to go in with my crimson, Snow White, and nautical in this manner. Something real simple, nothing crazy. Now I'm going to take some of the matte Mod Podge, and I'm just going to add it to the white parts of these arrows. And I'm just going to do a thin coat on all 3 of these arrows like this. Allow it to dry completely. Set these aside. And now I'm going to take some napkins, and I got these from Home Goods as well. I love these patterns. $4.99 for this pack of 40, and then $3.99 for these here, also pack of 40, and then $3.99 for these as well. And of course they can be used for 4th of July or Memorial Day or whatever, Flag Day. So I'm just going to take them down to 1 ply, again with some painter's tape like this. Now this one here, I ended up tearing a little bit. This particular napkin, it was a little bit attached a little bit too well. But here you can see I'm just trying to be careful, and it does end up tearing, but I still use it, and I actually use it a couple times in this video. So all is not lost. Now the white part, just put that away. You can clean something up later on. But yeah, went ahead and did this to all 3. Now these are all just 1 ply. Now I'm going to take the one that I tore, and I'm just going to place it in a manner where I want this little fireworks to be up like this. And I'm just going to take my parchment paper and my mini easy press, put it on high, And I'm going to fuse this as well, like I did DIY number 1. This is my favorite way of applying napkins to wood pieces because it's almost foolproof. You don't get wrinkles. So again, I'm going to snip off the obvious excess of this napkin because I don't want my flame to be huge. If I leave it, the flame will definitely just be huge. So take it down as much as you can, and then your flame will be manageable. It'll be a lot easier. So here I just went ahead and adhered the sides a little bit more. Then here goes my flame, and look how satisfying. So satisfying. So nice. Look at that, it's working for me. Now this middle part here, I guess the wood got in the way, but just lifted it up a little bit and worked perfectly. And look how nice. Now I went ahead and did the same to these others. I'll go ahead and show you just because it's so satisfying. So here is my napkin. Now I went ahead and put it to the side. That way I don't waste too much. Place my parchment paper and adhere it with my mini easy press. That way it reactivates all the Mod Podge. And yes, this napkin goes all the way down to the bottom of this arrow. So you can see here it tore up a little bit too, but that's okay. Now here is my last one with the red one. It's got a bunch of fireworks. It also fits there perfectly. And again, do the same thing. Take my mini easy press and heat up all the Mod Podge, reactivate it with this mini easy press. You could use a regular iron, just make sure that there's no steam, no water, and then that'll work perfectly. So now here I'm cutting off the obvious excess. That way I can have a controlled flame. It won't be scary, it'll be fun and satisfying instead. So place all this paper aside. I went ahead and trimmed the third one as well. Here we go. Take my little lighter and look at that. So satisfying. Let's see, this one here quit early, but that's okay. That's where it tore, so that's why it quit early. But look how satisfying. Here's the next one. And look at the flame. Oh my goodness, it just contours so easily. Look at that. So good. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And it gives it that little bit of burnt edge. Perfect for fireworks. Yeah, I think so. On theme. So here I'm just removing any soot. That way it doesn't interfere with the rest of the Mod Podge I gotta put on here to seal everything up. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Add a nice thin layer to all of the pieces with the napkin paper. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of dry brushing. My Mod Podge is still wet, so I have to be careful. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some dry brushing on the blue and on the red pieces. That way it gives it a little bit more interest. And I just have to be careful because, like I said, my Mod Podge is still wet, but that's okay. This won't hurt it. And then my last one is whatever is left on my brush. Just some dry brushing. And now I can allow everything to dry and cure perfectly. Now I'm going to add these little stars that I had in my stash from Amazon and kind of embellish the blue arrow, or should I say firework, because the other two are embellished with the napkin. But this one here just needed a little something something. So I figured 3 little stars would be perfect for this and right on theme. Now I'm taking some of this twine, baker's twine. This is from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut a little piece to place and make a little border from the top to the bottom part of this firework. And again, that's just to give it a little border, a little bit more interest, a little embellishment. You don't have to do this, of course. I just felt like it would look cute if I did that. So I did the same thing to all 3. Just a little bit of hot glue and just kind of roll it on there. And it's perfect. And then I did the same thing to the other 2 as well. Now I'm going to flip these over. And I'm going to add my bamboo skewers. I'm just going to do a nice long bead of hot glue and place a skewer on there. And I do the same thing to the other 2. And then spoiler alert, I ended up adding another bamboo skewer to each one of them because the one just wasn't strong enough. Maybe a wooden dowel might have been a little stronger. but I just wanted something to poke inside my planter. So I added the bamboo skewers, but when I placed them in there, it was very flimsy. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this rope. This I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to add it to the back as the fuse to these little rocket fireworks. And again, I'm just going to make a knot. I just feel like making a knot and adding glue. It just helps to adhere everything much better. So I'm just going to press it on the back. And look at that little fuse. Now here they are. I did go ahead and add some Fix All to them. That way they're nice and strong. Now here's my planter. Now here's where I add my little rocket fireworks. And it's just so flimsy. It just feels like it's falling. So I went ahead and took it off. I painted 3 more of the bamboo skewers and adding some more hot glue, and then placing the second bamboo skewer next to the first one, pressing it down. That way it has a good adherence. And I did the same thing to the other 2 as well, like this. And now I can add them to my planter, and they'll stay and they'll be strong. They won't be flopping around. So here I'm just going to go ahead and poke this one towards the center. I just got to be careful because I filled it up with lots of florals and greenery. So I'm just going to adjust my little fuse, and then I'm going to add this one here to the left side. Again, I'm having a little difficult time because so much greenery. I really filled them up. I just want it to look so cute. And then here's my last one on the right. Poke that inside. And then once I got that in there, that's it. Look, they all stand. Oh no, I did add another star, and this one's to the center of my bow, just because. And here's how it looks. For DIY number 16, I picked up this little decor piece from my local thrift store. It was only $2, and I got it for actually $1. And look how cute. It's got little slats on it, and it's got this metal piece. So I'm going to first remove this metal piece because I want to do a good paint job on it. So with my tiny little screwdrivers, I'm going to remove this little metal piece. And if you look at it closely, it's a bunch of little stars. So I don't know what these little stars have to do with Christmas, because it says something about Santa on here and Grammy. But that's okay. We're going to change this up. So remove the little metal piece, and now I'm going to go in with my red, white, and blue colors, and just like that, it's painted. So now I'm going to go in with some of the antique wax from Waverly and give it a little distressing. And so I'll just distress this a tiny little bit to get it like I like it. And once it's dry, then I'll put my little metal piece back on the blue part, and I'll use my little screwdriver to put that back on. So yeah, when you go to thrift stores and you see things, yeah, even though this was a Christmas piece, I totally turned this into a patriotic piece. Just gotta kind of like, think outside the box. Okay, so now on the rest of it, I'm going to leave it as is. I was going to put some wording on it, but I think I'm going to use this piece instead. This little wood home piece from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to go in with the red, white, and blue as well. And also I'm going to do the brushed silver. And so just like that. And now I'm going to distress this as well with some more of the Antique Wax by Waverly. And I wanted the O to be a little bit different. I don't want it to be just a typical O. So now I'm going to go in with this decor piece from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to remove the star because it's galvanized metal. Remove the little backing on it. And look, so cute. All I'm going to do now is hot glue the star onto the O. And it almost looks like it should be a Texas thing. I don't know, with that star. But no, it goes with red, white, and blue, of course. And look how cute. So cute. So now all I have to do now is just glue this piece onto the top of my little decor piece. So just a couple of beads of glue. Place it in the center on the top. And I'm going to leave it as is. You can always, if you do something like this, you can always add more words on it. But I'm going to leave it plain. For DIYs number 17 and number 18 are wooden ornaments, and it's one of those chunky stars, pretty thick wood. And so I'm going to go in with some of the Mod Podge, the satin one, and some of this fat quarter fabric from Walmart. I thought the print was really cute. It's kind of like pie in the shape of flags. And so I'm going to do the same thing as the first DIY. I'm going to saturate it with some of this Mod Podge until I get a really good coat. And now I'm going to take a small corner from this fabric and I'm just going to place it on top and press it down, smooth it out. And I'm going to saturate the top portion with some more of the Mod Podge. And I'll just really soak it up well. That way it has a really good coverage on it. And when it's time to cut it with my finger utility knife, it'll cut clean like my first project. And I'll set it aside for it to dry. And once it's dry, and look at this, it's nice and stiff, I'm going to go in with my utility knife again, my little finger utility knife, and I'm going to just cut. And it cuts so well because there was plenty of Mod Podge. And I'll continue to cut this fabric until I get it all clean like this. Nice clean edges. And now I'm taking some of these wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square. And in this pack you get stars, I think flowers and hearts. But I'm just going to use the stars. And so now I'm going to take some of this deco tape. And it's the real thin tape. And I'm just going to place it to form stripes. And I'll do that to both of these like this. And now I'm going to go in with some apple barrel paint in the colors flag red and white. And I'll paint them all up. And I'll just get them to look like this. And now I'm taking one of them and I'm going to hot glue it to the back of my chunky star. So now I'm taking one of these headbands from the Dollar Tree. And look at this. It has lots of ribbon and some of those deco tubes. I don't know what they're called. Deco mesh tubes maybe. And I'm just going to pull the whole thing off because it's just glued on there. And I'm also pulling off the stars. I'm going to use everything except for the headband. So now I'm going to take this little Hot Wheels truck. It's a very vintage looking truck. And I'm just going to add a dab of glue. Well, actually a nice glob of glue. And I'm going to add one of these little stars with the little spring on it. And on the second star, I'm going to remove the spring. And I just used my pliers for that. And once I remove the star, I'm going to add some glue to the back. And I'm going to just attach this to the top of the truck like this. So the two stars are just on there. And look how cute. This is just a little bonus DIY. Just why not? I had the stars, so why not? And now going back to my chunky star, I'm just going to add a nice big glob of glue to the bottom side. And I'm just going to simply attach this whole setup, this whole gathering of ribbon and the tubing. And I'm just going to add it on there until it's nice and dry. And I'm going to reinforce it with a little bit more glue just to make sure it doesn't fall off. And that is it. I am done. For DIY number 19, I am taking some of these beads from the Dollar Tree and Amazon, and I'm going to string it on some of this jute twine from Walmart. So the colorful beads are from the Dollar Tree and the natural beads are from Amazon. And like I mentioned, the jute twine is from Walmart. So I'll string them on like this, and now I'm taking one of these little wooden tags from Dollar General, and I'm just going to simply tie a double knot. Make sure it's nice and secure, nice and tight. And once I get that nice and tight and secure, then I'll take the end of that jute twine and I'll thread it back through 2 of the beads just to reinforce it. That way it won't come out, you won't see the end, and it would look like a better quality beaded garland. And now I'm just going to pull the beads back down and snip off the excess. And now I'll create a tassel, and I'll open my fingers pretty wide. That way it'll create a longer tassel. And I think I go around a good 15 times or so until I get it to the thickness that I'd like. And being that this is a better quality twine, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes a good number, a good 15 times or so. Okay, so now I'm going to secure it with another knot on the end of the garland. And I'll do a double knot so it's nice and secure, and I'll take another piece and I'll wrap around the top just to create that tassel, and I'll double knot that as well, snip off the excess, and now I'll take that end and thread that through at least 1 or 2 of the beads. I know I do the first one, I don't remember if I did the second one. I did add a little dab of glue just to make it easier to thread it. And so here I'm just threading it back through, just so you won't be able to find the end. Just like this. And now all I have to do is cut open the tassel and give it a little trim. And that is it for the tassel portion. Now to help embellish the tag, I'm going to leave it natural because, like I mentioned earlier, I want to have a natural look to these DIYs. And I'm taking this set of window clings. I'm just taking the tiny little stars and placing them on there. And I'll go in with some Mod Podge to adhere them, because you definitely don't want to use hot glue. This is plastic. So a little bit of Mod Podge, and then just stick them down like this. And then add some more Mod Podge on top of all of it. And then that way they'll stay on there, they won't come off, and they'll be nice and secure. So you let that dry, and then I'll just add my little star to the other side, and that is it. And for DIY number 20, a cardboard project that I was supposed to have completed about a month ago in a challenge, but I didn't get it done. I had a death in the family, so it didn't work out, but I'm going to finish it now. And my challenge was to create this tall birdhouse, and all our challenge items are to be created with cardboard. So here I go. And this particular birdhouse has 3 parts to it. It has a short kind of wide birdhouse, and then a tall birdhouse, and then a small birdhouse. So right now I'm working on the short one, and I'm just cutting pieces that I need. And I'm going to go in with these 3 colors of chalk paint and paint them like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and take some of this truffle, and I'm going to do a little bit of distressing on it, just to dirty it up just a tiny little bit. I only end up distressing this one particular house form. The other 2 I did not, and I was fine with it. Now if you want to make something like this, of course you can distress, or you can skip it altogether. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all these pieces together to create this house form. And I'm just going to use some hot glue for this. It works great on cardboard. And so I'm just taking these and placing them together in this manner, getting all the walls on, just taking my time. And make sure to use good cardboard. Don't use anything flimsy. Amazon boxes are the best, let me tell you. They are the best. So here I'm just using some glue. So now I'm going to take some longer pieces, and now I'm going to create the tall skinny house that will basically go in front of the short house. It's a really cute, adorable design. It really is. And I'm just taking my time to create my angles for the roof line. I'm cutting everything off with a nice sharp blade utility knife. And once I get all these pieces cut, then I go ahead and do the same thing, paint them in this manner. And now I'm going to add these onto my short house. So I'll begin with one of these tall pieces, and I'll add some glue. Well, first I'll make sure it's going to fit right. Add some glue to the bottom, to the sides, and the inside, and place it in the front. Now I'm not sure if this is the right way to make this thing. This is my interpretation of it. And obviously I'm making it patriotic. It's not the rustic one that's pictured. This is going to be a patriotic one. So now here are the walls to the tall house. I'm trying to make sure I say it properly here. So here's one wall. Gotta hold it down, allow the glue to set. And let me tell you, this thing becomes tall, so the angle is going to be a little blurred in some of the areas, but it's just the process. So here I'm adding the second wall, third wall, and then for the last wall, then I'll add the other blue piece. I'll lay this down, that way I can have an easy access to it, and I'll add some hot glue, and everything will get secure once I add this 4th wall. So I'll place it in there and press it down, and then that secures the tall skinny house. It almost looks like a church, like a chapel, but I think it's different. Yeah. So now here it is for the most part. Now I'm going to take some more pieces, and now I'm going to create the roofs for this. So here I'm painting everything in the white, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some Mod Podge and allow this to dry, because we're going to do a little bit of decoupaging, and I like to do this particular way. So now here are some napkins that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. They are super cute with all these stars, very patriotic and Americana. And I'm taking 2 pieces of painter's tape to remove one of the layers. It's only 2 layers, 2 plies. Now I'm ready to adhere this, so I'm going to place my 1 layer of napkin paper on my cardboard piece, and I'm going to use my mini easy press and some parchment paper, of course, to protect it. And I'm just going to press this down, and it'll adhere perfectly. All the Mod Podge will activate and adhere the napkin paper onto my painted cardboard. Now I'm just using a wet brush to rip off the rest of the napkin paper, and I just go ahead and do this to all my pieces. I'll do one more for you guys to see, but I ended up doing 6 roof pieces, 1 or 2 for each of the little houses, I think. Yeah, something like that. You guys will see. So here's the second one. So once I get them all done, then I go ahead and take my finger sander and remove all the excess napkin paper with my finger sander like this. Now I'm ready to add my roofs. So here they are, all 6 of them. And I'll start off with the large one. This will go on the large house, the bottom house. And I'll just add some glue to the sides and place it on the house like this. And I do this to both sides. And now I'm going to add my smaller piece that goes on the top, on the back, and do this to both sides as well, like this. And then all that's left is for the very top. And I go ahead and lay this down again so you guys can see. And I'll place this in this manner. And again, the same thing, just add some hot glue and place it on there to pitch it. Now I do end up leaving a little gap on the very top, and you'll see why later, why I left that gap. But here I'm just adding some more glue and adding some more cardboard. Oh my goodness. This was a process, I gotta tell you. And then finally the last little house, and this will go on the front. And so I'm just going to place 3 of these pieces to create the little house. I'm just adding the glue, making a little, kind of like a little room, like a little tiny house. And then adding the glue to the sides and placing it in front of the house. So yes, it's quite a cute design. I think it's adorable. I love this design. It's super cute. I would love to make this in wood. I think it would be so cute. So I just press it on there until it adheres and sets. And now I'm just going to take 2 more pieces for the roof on here. And I'm just going to adhere them together at the pitch at the very top. And I'm going to adhere it to the sides like this. Allow that glue to set. And here's a quick look at how it all looks all the way around. I'll turn it around real quick. Here's how it's looking, super cute. And now I'm going to use some of this baker's twine from the Dollar Tree to finish off all the cardboard edges, like this. Now I'm going to use some of these pieces to do some embellishing. I don't show it all because this took me a while. But look, Tammy from the Rusted Willow, it's done. Here's how it looks. Well, I'll take a moment to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and watching this video. It's a little lengthy, I know, but I wanted to include 20 of my favorite patriotic Americana 4th of July DIYs, Dollar Tree inspired. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want to see more, definitely subscribe to my next video. Stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye-bye.